Hey man, quit booking studio time thinking you ready. You ain't ready. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Wavy Wayne from Wavy.wav. And if you don't know, this channel is all about helping you record and mix better and faster. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now if you're new to the channel. And if you ain't new to the channel, then what's poppin', my family? This video is gonna really target the artist, man. And if you are an engineer or a producer, you're gonna find a lot of use in this too, because we need to make sure we are training our clients, training the artists that we work with to be better and to come prepared for studio sessions so we can get the most out of it. So I was sitting back this morning and I thought of a few things that will definitely help you as artists or you as engineers and producers be more productive in the studio when it comes to a recording session, man. And these ain't in no particular order. They just the way that I thought of them. Some of them may be, nah, forget that. They all are as equally important. And of course, you already know I'm probably not gonna hit everything, and I know y'all got some great ideas out there. So I would love to hear what y'all think about this topic too. How to be better prepared for a studio session. Drop down in the comments and let me know whatever I missed. Let me know the ways that you prepare for your studio session. So let's go ahead and kick the list off. I got my handy dandy notebook. Here we go. So one of the first things that I'm gonna say, man, and I've gotten used to doing this, but I don't really want to have to do it. And that's gonna be to download your beats before you get to the studio. Download your beats before you get to the studio. Now you got a couple different options here that I would suggest. If your beats are on YouTube and you're just gonna be jacking YouTube beats, take it upon yourself to convert those tracks and download them, and then you can either email them over to the engineer who you're going to be working with, or at least bring them in on a flash drive or something like that. But don't expect the engineer, even though most of us will, because we got to accommodate our clients, we will download them for you, but it's just a little pain sometimes to have to go through that process and then using all this extra software. And we putting our computers and our machines at risk when we do that. So download your beats, no matter where they are. Go ahead and download them, or at least make sure you forward them over to the engineer that you're going to be working with. Not a link to a YouTube, and an actual file. Make sure you have that. That'll be my first tip for y'all. Have them beats ready to go. The next thing that you can do is actually arrive early, man. You know the saying, if you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you might as well not even come. And if you're early, then you're on time. Now, when you arrive early, it's important not to arrive too early, because then you could be tripping. Maybe I got a session above you. Maybe I'm in here working on something else. So arriving too early is almost just as disrespectful as arriving late, okay? And arriving late, you really just playing yourself, because if you book a session with me, the time for the session starts at the time that you book, not the time that you arrive. So if you say you're gonna be here at 5 o'clock and you get here at 5:15, well, you've already spent 15 minutes of your session in traffic or whatever the hell you was doing. So arrive early, and I suggest about 10 to 15 minutes early, depending on the type of setup that you have. If you have a more complex setup and you got to load in and all this kind of stuff, then definitely talk with the studio, talk with the engineer, and see what they want to, what time they want to load in prior to the session. But if you're just coming in for a simple vocal tracking session, 10 to 15 minutes is more than enough. Anything more than that, arriving an hour early, 30 minutes early, you're cramping on my lunchtime. You're cramping on time that I was already working on editing the video or whatever. So arrive early, but not too early. Super, super important. One thing that seems to be a lost art nowadays is actually memorizing your lyrics. Everybody is coming in with a phone or a piece of paper and they holding it up trying to rap like this, and it's something that they just wrote 10 minutes ago before they got to the studio. Matter of fact, that's why they was 15 minutes late, because they was outside in the car trying to come up with the lyrics, man. Prepare your song, man. And when you come into the studio, you about to create something that is going to last forever. So you want to practice, you want to rehearse. I remember when I was a recording artist, I would spend so much time practicing my delivery. I knew how I wanted to sound on the record. I knew the way that I wanted to perform once I got in front of the microphone. So that's very important for you to actually practice that delivery. Memorize your lyrics if you can, and you ain't gotta memorize them all. Okay, I know that songs can be a lot to memorize, but at least be very familiar with what it is that you're about to spit out when you get in front of that microphone, man. Don't let it be the first time that you're reading it back and you can't even remember your own flow, your own cadence, because then it's just gonna make it a tough time for everybody when we're really trying to make the most of our time and get the best song possible out of the recording session. So memorize your lyrics if you can. Another good reason about memorizing your lyrics is that you're able to, instead of reading it, man, when you're reading, you're literally reading. When you actually have the words in your head, then you are able to then focus on putting emotion out. And that is what makes a good record. Speaking of that, man, let's just go ahead to my next topic. My next tip is going to be to bring your confidence. Bring your confidence. Don't be in the studio quiet as a church mouse, acting all shy and stuff like that. The studio is a place for you to mess up. It is a place for you to explore. It's a place for you to experiment. So don't be afraid to express yourself in here. Don't be afraid to open up and make mistakes and release whatever it is that's in you. But if you are all in and you're shy and you're scared, then we're gonna be pulling so much time trying to pull it out of you that we can't even get a good performance. When you are in front of a microphone as a singer, as a rapper, whatever it is that you're doing with your vocals, one thing to remember is that at that point in time, you are basically a vocal actor. It's like being on a screen. You have to get the audience to connect with you and feel your emotion and feel your story, whatever it is that you're saying to them. But they don't have the visual though. They can't see you. They don't know the backstory. All they have is what you are saying and the way you're saying it. So the way that you deliver and the emotion that you bring to the record is going to be so crucial to making sure that it is a good record, man. Think about that. Think about being a voice actor every time that you step into the booth, and you have to actually deliver a amazing performance only with your voice. So make sure that you're getting that through and confidence in what you're saying. Even if you're not that confident, fake it. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and fake that confidence so you can open up out of that shell and just don't be afraid to express yourself. Nothing bad has to make it out of the studio. We have amazing editing tools. We can cut, copy, paste, move stuff around all day. So belt your heart out, reach for the high notes, try to do that tongue twister line, do it all. The next tip I'm gonna say is to communicate with the engineer, man. So many times artists would just sit in the booth quietly. They'll do their take. You need to be in control, okay? Take control when you're in the studio. I'm working for you, okay? So you tell me, yo, play that back. Let me hear that. I want to do that over. I don't like the way that sounds. You have to be objective about what you're hearing yourself and then communicate that to the engineer, the producer that you're working with. So don't just be passive in the booty in the studio. Don't be passionate. Don't be passionate there either. Don't be passive in the studio. Don't be passive when you're in the booth. Take control and communicate. The more you talk about what you're doing, the more you talk about what you want out of the record, the more clear it is to everyone who's working on the project, and everybody will be able to help you get where you want to go. So don't keep it all in. If you have ideas, if you think something, man, if I make an edit and you don't like it, say it, right? If you want to hear more reverb, say that. If you want to hear more whatever, more auto-tune, if it's too much auto-tune, you have to communicate these things, and that's what's going to make the studio session go a whole lot smoother. The next tip is going to be to aim for quality instead of quantity. When you come in the lab, let's say you book 2 hours. Now in this 2 hours, you want to get 4 songs done in this 2 hours. That's your objective. That's the wrong objective. That automatically puts you in a place that you're worried more about the time than you are about the performance that you're going to do, which is going to last forever. Okay. Now, if you have multiple songs, that's fine. If you memorize and your performance is great, then perfect. But most people ain't gonna one take the song. You're not gonna one take your performance. We need to get out of that mindset and focus on critical aspects, every little part, every detail of the song. We can try to perfect it and make it better. There's no need to rush through it. There's no need to gloss over it. Recording a song is something that is permanent once you're done. It is something, once it's out into the world, this is what it's going to live for forever. So if it takes you 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours to record just one single song, that's okay, because that record is going to live for 10, 20 years once it leaves the studio. Take your time, aim for quality, not quantity. One of my last tips, something that's going to help you with that quality over quantity, is if you break the song down into sections, man. And a lot of y'all don't even know song structure. I'm noticing that. And what I mean is like the intro, the chorus, the hook, the verse, okay? Knowing the song structure is very important. Look up some stuff on YouTube. Maybe I'll make a video even that helps you to break down and identify the structure of a song. But I recommend that unless you are just doing a long verse straight through, why try to do the whole song in one take, right? When you can break it down, if you focus on just the hook, and then maybe we got to punch in a couple of times to perfect that hook. Okay, now we got that hook perfected. All right, now let's move on to the first verse. And we might need to do a few takes, a couple lines, and replace some stuff, rewrite a couple things on that first verse. Now we got a good solid first verse. Instead of just trying to run through the whole song over and over and over and over again and never getting the quality that you want. All right, it's brick by brick. Let it build up. Don't think that you got to record the whole song in one take, and know that for a fact that if you want perfection, if you want that good quality, recording in one take is not going to get you there. All right, unless you just some anomaly, which you probably ain't, and it's okay, because most of us are not. We need to take our time with stuff, right? We need to let the engineer edit. If an edit needs to happen, let them edit, man. Take your time. Break it down section by section. If it's a complex verse, maybe even break it down 4 bars at a time, 2 bars at a time. Don't be afraid to go back and replace one word that you didn't like the way you said it. Man, our tools enable us to create stuff that was impossible 50 years ago. But now we need to use those tools. So don't try to rush through the song. Like I said before, I'm sure there's more tips and tricks that y'all got out there to prepare for your studio session. Whatever it is that you do, warming up your vocals, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, all that stuff, whatever you're doing, drop it down in the comments below. Let me know what you recommend your clients or artists do. Or if you're an artist or a singer or producer yourself, what do you do to actually prepare and get the most out of your studio session? For all my engineers out there and artists who are self-recording themselves, Wavy.com has some of the hottest recording and mixing templates available that'll help you get the sound that you want a whole lot faster. Go to Wavy.com, download one of my templates today, and start making magic in the studio. All right, I'm Wavy Wayne. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful. Be dope.